What's up guys? Today we're unboxing a rather large purchase for me. What is it? An ESAB Rebel 205 AC/DC, MIG, TIG, and stick welder, all in one unit. Alright, so I've been wanting to unbox this thing since I got home, so it's something to drink. And unfortunately, I had to wait a couple hours because literally everyone in my neighborhood wanted to mow their grass all at the same time. So, not exactly conducive to making a YouTube video. We start over here. This is apparently all torches. Set that off to the side. Let's see if I can pull this welder out of here. Well, that's kind of uneventful. Luckily, there's no damage on anything. All right, let's see what we got. Grounding clamp. TIG foot pedal. Gas hose. This will be a flow meter. Looks like the TIG setup, the TIG torch, and some basic consumables, some tungstens and that sort of stuff, just to get you started. Metal thickness gauge. Not really sure what this is. Oh, they give you a 4-pound spool of wire. What is that? 30 thousandths spool of wire. So that'll last me for a little while. Power cord. That's a 110 adapter. And finally, a Tweco MIG gun. A couple consumables in there as well. Not a whole lot, but last thing they give you is a few stick rods. Looks like 6013. Yep, 6013 sample pack. Just enough to try it out. This is probably the only time I'll ever use this thing as a stick welder is, these 4 rods. So yeah, that's all your consumables and all the miscellaneous accessories and stuff, but let's get to the welder. That's why you guys are here. All right, now for the welder. That's it for that box. So yeah, there it be. Get the rest of this undone, get some of these wires free, and I'm gonna plug this thing to the wall and make sure it's not DOA. Hopefully everything works like it's supposed to. Oh, there's more inside. Ah yes, the stick lead. Instructions and looks like drive rollers for the MIG setup. There's also a USB stick in here. I'm not sure what's on that, but probably the instructions, because there's not much for, not really a whole lot for literature on this thing. It's about 4 or 5 pages, and that's about it. For me, this is always the most satisfying part. So I opened up the packet with all the literature in it, and what I found kind of funny is there's a booklet in here that you would think is the instruction booklet, and it's literally all just warnings. Like, it's just legal jargon so ESAB doesn't get sued. So basically just throw that directly in the trash. This is really the only thing that they give you as far as instructions. I believe that there is some sort of instruction menu built into the machine, but I haven't even plugged it in yet, but I'll find out. The other thing in the instructions is this chart, and it's literally just a carbon copy of the inside of the lid for the you know, the wire speeds and the amperages and stuff like that, but this is written in Spanish. So once again, for me, trash. All right, let's turn it on. So here you go, here's all your processes. Short circuit MIG, MIG mag, whatever the heck that is. Flux core, stick welding, DC TIG, AC TIG, and then there's some settings in here, and then the user manual. So yeah, let me get some of this other stuff unpackaged, and yeah, we'll start running a couple of beads with this thing. We'll do some DC TIG, some AC TIG for sure. That's what I do on a fairly frequent basis. I really don't use MIG that much, but if I can TIG, I'm sure I'll be able to figure out MIG. So we'll see. So I got everything hooked up. First piece I'm going to do is just going to be some stainless steel TIG. That's the thing I'm most familiar with, but as you guys can see, it's kind of a mess because I don't have a cart yet. So good thing I have a welder, right? We'll see how this thing does on 115 amps DC TIG. giant piece of aluminum. I'm gonna do some AC TIG maxed out, 205 amps, 250 hertz. We'll see what this thing has. I don't know that I'm gonna be able to make a puddle on this thing just because it's so thick, but we'll see. Maybe I'll trip the breaker, I don't know. It's a 30 amp breaker, it's a 30 amp machine, so I'm right there. All right, so now I'm gonna do some MIG welding, and I alluded to this yesterday and I kind of got it screwed up, but there's two types of MIG welding designed into this machine. So the first one is a traditional MIG weld where you know, you have your wire feed speed and your voltage and you adjust it as normal. This machine in particular has what ESAB calls Smart MIG, and it's basically a synergic function, something along those lines, that where it kind of just sets the machine up for you. But what's unique about the ESAB is it actually adjusts the wire feed speed and the voltage as you're creating the weld to try and get you a better weld. So I haven't MIG welded in about 10 or 12 years, so I'm going to use the Smart function because, quite frankly, I don't even know where to start. I'm much better at TIG because that is what I do the majority of the time when I have to weld for work. All right, so I got this thing set up on Smart MIG, put in 1/8 inch steel, and we're gonna see what this thing does. Hopefully I have a good ground. This thing's pretty dirty, but yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, the last process that I'm gonna try is gonna be stick. So you come up to stick, hit enter. It tells you to check the polarity. So you may have to come down here and you know, swap some leads around depending on what process you're doing. Hit enter. I'm gonna go with 110 amps. And then when you turn this knob here over to on, it puts power to the stinger. So whenever you're ready, you know, obviously turn it on, but otherwise the stinger is gonna have full-time power all the time. So if you're laying it on the table that you have grounded, it's gonna arc. So sort of like MIG, I haven't stick welded in over 10 years at this point. To be quite frank with you guys, I really don't know a whole lot about it other than about a week and a half that I did it in college for one of my college classes. So with that said, this is a 6013 rod that ESAB gave me. I'm gonna run this thing at about 110 amps and just see what we get out of this thing. Like I said, I'm not the best person to learn from because quite frankly, I really don't know what the hell I'm doing here. It smells just like I remember. Absolutely terrible. Well, with that said, the weld isn't that bad, but like I told you guys before, anybody can weld sitting at a bench horizontal. You want to start doing overhead or vertical stuff, totally different animal. All right, so what are my initial impressions on this thing? Honestly, I'm kind of blown away because it feels like a full-blown TIG machine, it feels like a full-blown MIG machine, and it feels like a stick welder. I mean, it does everything. I don't feel as though I compromised on anything. And I really like the fact that it's so small. You know, you guys that subscribe to the channel know that, you know, my shop is pretty small. It's only 16 by 28. So I don't really have the space for 3 different machines. So this for me is kind of the ideal setup. I mean, there's a couple things that I don't really care for about it. One of which is, you know, how much I have to swap the leads to go from one process to the other. I think the Miller Multimatic 220 does a much better job of that. You just literally pull the trigger on the MIG gun and it switches to MIG. You step on the foot pedal and it switches back over to TIG for you. This, you gotta swap some leads around and stuff. Not a huge deal. The other thing that I'm not really crazy about, I'm sure you guys probably heard it at points in the video, was the fan. Because this thing is so small and is so compact, there's a lot going on inside this case, and you got to keep those components cool. And to do that, you got to put a pretty decent fan in. So for most people, the fan's a non-issue, but for me, I'm making YouTube videos, so fan noise is just something that, you know, I'm going to have to deal with. Lastly, the last thing is the price. So I got a deal on this thing. This thing was about $2,600. Yes, I know it's not cheap and there's a lot cheaper options out there, but they don't offer this amount of versatility in that package. The 3 that I were looking at were the Miller Multimatic 220, like I said, this machine, and then the Everlast MTS 225. I'm probably going to make a separate video on why I chose this one compared to those 3. I'll put that link up in the corner for you guys. So finally, the last thing I wanted to say was thank you. Ultimately, you guys pay for this thing with everything you guys do. You know, the like, share, subscribe, writing comments, all that good stuff, watching the videos. I really appreciate it. It allows me to go out and buy things like this so I can make more content for you guys. With that said, I may start sharing some welding projects with you guys. You know, I'm not a professional welder by trade, so you're not going to get any welding advice from me. There's a lot of other different channels out there that are a lot better at explaining the welding process than what I am. So I'll share some projects with you. But yeah, as always, guys, if you guys like the video, hit like. If you want to see more content, go down and hit subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys.